Just look at this mess of cables. This is what everyone trying to build a laptop-focused desk setup has to go through. But this could be the solution, all thanks to these docking stations, the Anker Prime DL7400 docking station and the Anker Prime TB5 docking station, all brought to you by today's sponsor, Anker. So let's talk about how these just make your desk so much better and generally why this even freaking matters. So what can you do to solve these messy cable issues? The cheapest option is you could just go out, get a little hub. They're convenient and portable, but they're limited in ports and speed. And the cables can still get super messy. You could instead use the ports that you find on the back of your monitor. It cleans up the cables really quickly, but the ports can be hard to reach and only have a few select ports to begin with. So that's why in every laptop-focused desk setup that I've ever put together, I like to keep a docking station at it, like the Anker Prime DL7400 and the Anker Prime TB5 docking station. They make managing all those different accessories super easy. These docking stations can then become the one cable solution that connects your laptop to everything else in your setup. So let's talk about the DL7400 first. The biggest standout feature about this dock is how great it is for productivity. It enables you to connect up to 3 external monitors through 2 HDMI ports and a display port on the back, so that if you're the type of person that loves filling your eyeballs with screens, this could be it. Some laptops, like Apple's MacBook Airs, limit how many monitors you can even use with them. But with the Anker Prime DL7400, you can still connect up to 3 monitors. Wait a second. How do you get past those limitations? How does it even work? Well, it does this through the use of DisplayLink. So the DL7400 in the name of this dock is actually the chip that's within the dock that, when paired with DisplayLink software installed on your computer, lets you get past the display limits of that computer. But keep in mind that it does take up some additional computer resources if you use it in this way, and that their DisplayLink monitor does have some limitations, like not being able to display HDCP content with it active on macOS, but that's an issue that all DisplayLink docking stations have. But it is certified to display HDCP content on Windows system, so it wouldn't be as good as a 100% real third monitor, but it's pretty close. So I quickly put together 3 monitors side by side with this docking station to show you how this little MacBook Air can now extend to 3 additional monitors. It does support up to 8K 60 on one monitor and 4K 60 on the other 2, which is just so much screen for activities, and definitely not to just run YouTube. Besides the added monitor support, this dock still has a few things that can be hard to find in other docks. Like any laptop connected to this main USB-C host port can get up to 140 watts of power. And if you're looking to charge your devices while your laptop is away from your desk, just using the 3 front USB Type-C ports, you can get up to 100 watts of power into any of these individual ports for up to 160 watts total from this DL7400 docking station. You could power a second laptop off this dock if you wanted to. You might also be wondering, how does something this small push out so much juice and stay cool? Well, when you use this much power, you do need a way to actively cool the dock. So with this dock, air flows in through the left and out through the back, and the display even shows you when that's active. Now, I've used a lot of docking stations, and many of them get very hot, but thanks to the cooling system in this and the later model that we'll be talking about, the DL7400 does stay warm, but never hot. Speaking of which, the display. If you're buying this thing, you're probably obsessed with screens. Good news, the built-in 2.26 high-definition LCD display can show you how much power you're using across your different devices. You can view the time and see what displays are connected, which is all controllable by this satisfying to turn dial. Sounds so good. There's also an app that goes along with it called the Anker Dock Manager. This lets you view all the different statuses of each port and change what's being displayed on the dock's display. This dock even has a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet jack and SD and micro SD card slots. There's USB-A ports on the back and even a headphone jack up front. And this dock doesn't come with a giant power brick because it's actually built directly into this, meaning no bulky bricks attached to your docking station going into the wall. What I like most about the DL7400 docking station is that it's just shaped like a regular everyday docking station, just with a nice informative screen on the front to show you the status of the dock. So if anything's wrong, if you're not getting the charging speeds you're expecting, or if the monitor is not displaying the right resolutions, this could help you quickly troubleshoot that, because the dock can just tell you, yeah, you know what, something is up. Okay, what if you're more performance oriented and need a dock that has high data pass-through? Then that's when the Anker Prime TB5 docking station becomes a great fit. This thing uses a Thunderbolt 5 connection, is backwards compatible with older Thunderbolt 4 devices, and this thing is going to handle pretty much whatever I throw at it. It's probably as nice as you can get with a dock. I never feel like the hub is the bottleneck, even with a bunch of things plugged in. And this thing has pretty much every single port that you could think of using. HDMI, DisplayPort, USB-C, USB-A, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, SD card slots, a headphone jack. It's got it. So take, for example, the setup that I got right here. I have a ton of things plugged in, and if I were to show you all the cables I need to plug in to make this all work, it looks like this. Not fun. But with the TB5 docking station, I can literally just plug everything that I would normally use into the dock and then plug the dock into my MacBook and I'm good to go. It charges my laptop with up to 140 watts of power and gives me access to all of my plugged-in accessories too. All this through a single cable that is able to pass through up to 120 gigabits per second of total throughput to this laptop thanks to Thunderbolt 5. With everything plugged into just one box, it makes it easy to manage all the cables around this dock since only one cable ends up being plugged into my laptop instead of having everything laid out creating a huge mess. So this makes managing all my accessories so much easier because I know where each cable needs to go. It just needs to be able to connect to the dock. Now, to be fair, this thing is more cube shaped than most docks I've used. There's even this ambient light effect that can really bring in some color into your desk setup. Personally, I'm not super into it and I prefer a more muted look, so it's great that you can just turn it off with literally a press of the front button, or you can turn off the dock completely by holding down that button. But the reason the dock is shaped this way is because it uses gallium nitride technology to shrink the big power adapter that you normally get with docking stations down, and then integrates the power brick that you normally see with those stations directly into the dock itself. This is the same thing that the DL7400 is doing. So without that big bulky AC adapter, it actually cleans up your setup on the back end too, because now you don't have to manage that brick and place it somewhere, and your cables are a little bit cleaner and easier to manage. And yet, even with that integrated power brick, the front two USB-C ports could provide an additional 45 watts of charging. So you can fast charge your devices directly off this dock too. And similar to the DL7400, because this thing pulls a decent amount of juice, there is cooling built into it that pulls in fresh air, keeping the unit cool. But overall, this docking station is great if you know that you need the fastest transfer speeds as well as fast charging speeds from a single dock. I really do think docking stations in general make your life so much easier. I like the peace of mind that the Anker Prime TB5 docking station provides all the bandwidth that I need to move my files around from SD cards to SSDs to my NAS over the network, and despite all that, all of my desk accessories still function perfectly alongside it. It suits my do-everything desk setup really well. I would imagine something like this would benefit gamers too, like if you're primarily a laptop gamer and want to plug in an external GPU, high refresh rate monitors, and a bunch of peripherals alongside it. This has the bandwidth to do all of that. And while these are feature packed and you primarily should use them with a laptop, you could use these for other devices too. I can actually plug in my iPad to the TB5 docking station to maximize performance out of my iPad. This helps me make use of this big ultra-wide for more screen real estate, sound from my speakers, and still have access to all the storage devices at this desk setup. Or I can instead attach my ROG Ally gaming PC handheld that only has a single USB port on the entire machine, or my MacBook Air that only supports 2 displays by default directly to the Anker Prime DL7400 to turn them into triple display productivity machines that I can then use to review and revise my scripts and manage projects from. And having 3 displays for office work would be great too. You could use one for emails and your schedule, one main display to share what you're working on, and the third to control your video conferencing plus any additional documents. That's the beauty of docking stations. It makes your desk setup hot swappable to just adapt to you. The flexibility to switch your workspace from one device into the perfect spot for another is just so convenient. So whether you need multi-screen support for getting things done or the fastest connection to your laptop possible, these 2 docks will fill that role well. So if you want to check these out, click the link in the video description below to learn more about Anker Prime's new products and get limited time discounts on them as well. So that's why I find docking stations like these Anker Prime DL7400 and TB5 to be so convenient and necessary in every desk setup. But I want to know what you personally think too. Do you use a docking station for your own workspace right now? Do you think it's better than using a little hub or your monitor's built-in ports? Or are you looking for a docking station currently and don't know what ports you need just yet? Here's a better question. What kind of ports do you absolutely need in your own docking stations? For me personally, if you give me the port, I'm gonna find a way to fill it all up. Leave all that down in the comment section below, and I'll see you all next time.